Hello everyone and welcome to Pokemon Club. This month we are going to be evolving our own Pokemon out of craft supplies. So we've got some pipe cleaners, some of the felt puffballs, and googly eyes to make our own Pokemon. So today I'm going to be making a Caterpie, which looks like this if you haven't seen one before. To start, I'm going to separate the supplies that I need, so the green and the yellow puffballs with the orange pipe cleaner for his antenna, and then of course the eyes. My first step is to separate some of the puffballs to make the different sizes for the different parts of his body. I'm going to pull out some of the fabric and then roll them into balls to make them look like the different parts of Caterpie. Once they start looking in a way I like, I'm going to start gluing them together. If you're using hot glue, be careful because the felt isn't very protective, so you'll be able to feel the heat from the glue if you're not very careful, but you can use any type of glue. And I'll just start putting those together until it forms Caterpie's body. Here is what it looks like so far. So I'm going to take these last two pieces of the broken apart puffball and put them back together to make a slightly bigger segment of the body. Now you can kind of see where his body is taking shape and how it will sort of look at the end once I am done. And then I'm going to take the last two of the fully formed puffballs and add them on top to make the head. And this is what the upper part of his body looks like so far. Now, since this is a little bit flimsy, if you want to make it sturdier, I recommend using one of the pipe cleaners, cutting it to the shape of whatever Pokemon you choose, and gluing it to the underneath. Don't worry too much about the color, at least for this one, because we're going to cover it with the yellow for his belly. But this will give you a little bit more structure to your Pokemon, and it might allow you to move him into different shapes if you need to. I'm going to let all of the glue on mine dry and settle for a little bit before I come back and do the second part. Okay, now we are ready to do the underside of Caterpie, but first I took a little bit of the green that I had left over and covered the top part of the blacks for his face later. And now I am tearing apart the yellow puffball just like we did with the green to make it a little easier to cover everything, give me a little bit more of the yellow to work with. I'm going to start gluing down the yellow just like I did with the green. I'm going to do small sections at a time to make sure that the glue doesn't dry before I can get all of the pipe cleaner covered. You might have to add some hot glue every now and then and spread out the yellow a little more to make sure you can cover everything. Here is what my Caterpie looks like now. I'm going to glue down some of the edges, make sure he looks a little more put together, and then we will do his face. And now we are ready for his eyes and his antenna. So first I'm going to glue on the googly eyes. I'm just putting a dot of hot glue on each one and then sticking it to where I want his face to be. And now we are ready to do his antenna. So I'm going to take this orange pipe cleaner and just cut off 2 small sections, making sure they're about the same size, and then I'm going to hot glue them to the top of his head. I'm going to bend the antennas a little bit so that they kind of stick up, and then just set them on the hot glue and let them dry. Again, if you're using hot glue, please be careful, especially with these smaller bits, because there's a higher chance that you will end up touching the glue as you're adding them to your Pokemon. Here is my Caterpie. He looks a little wild, but I like him, so it's fine. If you end up doing this with the craft kits that are being handed out, or even if you just create your own, please share with us on Facebook or Instagram and let us know what you come up with. See you guys next time.